Hey guys, today I want to explain in one video how you can maintain Tesla, gas engine and hybrid. I'm going to talk about the hybrid battery. We already removed it. I'm going to show you some couple tips how you can maintain the battery and what you need to know as far as the hybrid battery, what information is missing, because I know most people are really worried about the hybrid battery when they want to purchase the hybrid car because there is cost involved. They're very expensive. This battery belongs to 2012 third generation hybrid battery. It's 28 hybrid battery block involved to create 220 volt battery. How are you going to come up with the 220 volt? You need to divide the 220 volt by number of the blocks that you have. We have 28. It's going to be 7.85. Basically, whenever you want to try the battery and test it to make sure the battery block are good, you need to maintain that voltage. If it's less than that, way less than that, that block is bad. There's another important things about the hybrid battery. Because there is no space between hybrid battery blocks, you see they're attached to each other. There's no way this battery cool down fast. These are small things, and there's a couple of stuff that goes on top of it to cool down the battery, but it's not as effective as it should. That's why you have this fan. There is one thing you need to understand. When you have a hybrid battery and the back seat, you need to make sure don't block it, and there is a maintenance for that. Most people, they don't understand what's the maintenance for hybrid battery, how I can maintain it. There is a way you can maintain your hybrid battery. How? Take it to mechanic shop, tell them remove the seat, clean the filter and the fan. If you look at the fan, inside the fan, you see there is a lot of dirt. There's a lot of dust. It shouldn't be like this. Make sure, take it to the shop, take the fan out, and if it's possible, if you can repair it, replace it. It's so cheap, it's not expensive, and there is a filter in front of it. You need to make sure to change that as well. That's how you can maintain your Prius battery. It's very important. Make sure don't put a lot of weight on top of a battery, and do not put a lot of stuff on top of it, especially when it's hot, because when it's hot and you create extra heat on top of the battery, and especially for this type of battery, because there's no way you can just cool down this battery fast. And if your fan and if your filter is blocked, most likely you block the duct, the things that goes in the next to the door, the both side. If you block them, there's no way to suck the air. That's how you can maintain your battery. Most of the Tesla owners, Tesla is known by less maintenance. This is true. This is true if you compare it to the gas engine car. One simple things for Tesla owners, there is air filters inside the Tesla. Even if it's new, it's your responsibility to change your air filter because they get dirty more and faster than other cars, because Tesla engineers, they design this AC and air ducts differently. They suck a lot of air, they clean the air far and more better than the gas engine. That's why you need to change them. Another important tip to maintain your Tesla: do you want to maximize your usage of your battery charge? You want to use it in the best way you can, and you don't want to charge it every day over time and overcharge it. There's one important thing. It's all related to your tires. This is factory tires. Hankook, it's designing tires for EV cars, because tires for EV cars are totally different. It's not like gas engine cars. There is a reason, because the weight of this car, because this car is so heavy, they worn tires 25 to 35% faster than normal cars. And there is another caveat: sound, because the engine doesn't make sound. It doesn't have that regular engine to make noise. This car need to have a tire to reduce the noise, otherwise you get kind of annoyed. In an engine car, you don't care because it's normal. It's very normal for you to hear a lot of noise from engine car. But for Tesla owners, if you get the wrong tires, you will hear a lot of noise, and that makes difference if you buy cheap tires. Make sure when the time comes up, you want to change your tires on Tesla, make sure buy right tires. They are expensive though, they're not cheap, but if you buy a cheap one, you're gonna hear a lot of noise, and you're gonna use the charge, you're gonna use the energy in the battery 12% faster than when you have a designated tire for EV cars. You see these cross things? These are for noise reduction. Engineers designed this to reduce the noise of the tire. I know most people, they like bulky tires, off-road tires, but off-road tires increase your battery usage or decrease your gas mileage. How? Because they create friction on the road. Friction means more resistance. More resistance mean engine car, EV car or hybrid need to push harder. That's why you need to make sure buy right tires. This is so important for, especially for EV owners. If you have EV, the time comes you want to change your tires, make sure buy Hankook or any designated tire brand for EV cars. Don't just buy tires because you want to have a tires. You will get a lot of problems on the road, noise, more charging and vibration, a lot of stuff. Guys, look at this filter. This is not Tesla oil filter, but you have similar oil filter in your Tesla. Yes, you heard it right. Tesla need an oil change, but not like an engine car or hybrid cars every 4,000 or 5,000 miles. No, maybe every 60,000 miles or 70,000 miles. But yes, you need an oil change. Where is that oil goes? On your drive unit. Some Tesla has 1 drive unit, some Tesla has 2 drive units, some Tesla has 3 drive units. Based on that, if you have a 3 drive unit, you have 3 oil filter. You don't need to do it in 5,000 or 10,000, but you need to make sure you understand that. And if you pass the warranty, you need to make sure take care of that. Take it to local shop or the place they do oil change for Tesla and EV cars. Ask them to do the oil change. Another thing, you need to make sure do your tire rotation every like 20,000 miles or 30,000 miles. Another thing, if you want to do it by yourself, these are the tools that you need to jack up your car. Otherwise, you will damage the battery. You want to maintain your battery. This goes underneath the car. There's a place, it goes here, and you jack up the car from here. Do not jack up the car, especially Teslas, without these tools, because you're gonna mess up the battery. This is so important. It's very cheap. It's like 20 bucks or something. I can leave a link in the description. You guys can buy it from Amazon. Let's go on the engine car. We come to the gas engine. Most of you guys know gas engine, it's been with us for many decades. Most of you guys say, okay, I know a lot of maintenance about the car, but I promise you, if I open my invoices since 5 years ago or 6 years ago, I can show you thousands of invoices overpaid for unnecessary repair caused by not knowing the car need the oil change, the car need the air filter, the car need the basic maintenance. The lack of knowledge caused and cost a lot of money. I promise you. I witnessed a woman came to me and her car was making knocking noise. When we opened the engine, the oil inside the engine was totally burned. It was full sludge. There was no oil in the car. And when I asked her, she didn't have any idea the car needed oil change. She drove the car for 30,000 miles with the same oil. This is a new car, it has 4,000 miles. One of my videos I explained, dealers normally they don't do oil change on new cars. They recommend it in 10,000 miles or 7,500 miles or 15,000 miles. But I can tell you this, whatever dealer tell you, it's just for their benefit. It's not for you. Do it as often as you can. If they tell you 10,000 miles, do it in 5,000 miles. If they tell you 75, do it in 35. If they tell you 15, do it in 6, 7. But 5,000, most likely it's the best number. You want to stick to it. As a mechanic, sometimes we hesitate to tell the customers, hey, you need a brake fluid flush, you need a radiator flush, or you need a battery. But this is very important. If mechanic tell you you need this stuff, don't look at them look like a liars or somebody try to rip you off. No, if you don't change your coolant, if you don't change your brake fluid, if you don't change your battery, you're gonna come up with a high cost, especially coolant and oil. Why? Because coolants, most of the people, they don't care. They said, okay, it's a coolant, it's not gonna go broke or anything happen to it, but it will happen, especially if you put water in the cooling system over and over and you don't use proper coolant for your car. The coolant slowly just evaporate, especially if you put water in it, and you don't want to just drive a car without the coolant or proper coolant, and you will have a lot of pipe, a lot of small passages in your radiator, in your AC and in your heater system that you want to have a flow. If you don't change them, if you don't flush them, if you don't change and wash them, sometimes those passages get clogged, and those clogs create another problem. Sometimes you see you have a broken pipe, sometimes you see you have a coolant leak, you fix it, but your car is not running properly because you didn't fix the actual problem. You create the problem because you didn't do it on the right time. Make sure flush your coolant, make sure do your maintenance on time, change your filters. These filters are important. If you don't know how important they are, let me tell you. If you have a dirty filter, this is so important. It may look very basic. I had a client last week, his filter fully clogged. What happened? The car cannot breathe. There is a ratio in the engine. You need to have a 14.7 air for 1% gas. That's create a combustion. If you don't change your filter, you mess up that ratio. Means engine need to put more gas in order your car runs. You use a lot of gas. And another things, you get the dust and the stuff and the dirt inside the piston, and sometimes you wonder why you have a misfire. Your car is not running properly, why your ring's broken, why your engine failed in 50,000 miles or 60,000 miles. That's why, because you didn't change your filter and you didn't even realize, oh, this filter causes engine failure. Yes, if you don't change it on time, if you don't clean it, it causes engine failure because it takes all the dust and everything. It's called filter. If you don't change it, all the dust and dirt, it goes to the engine. It mess up your filter, it mess up your piston, it mess up your engine internal component. You need to do it on time. These are very basic and very important. I've witnessed a lot of customers. Sometimes they work on cars and they remove a lot of stuff and they say it's unnecessary. No, nothing in engine, nothing in a car, it's unnecessary. Everything designed for a reason. If you remove something in a car and you think it's unnecessary, go and ask dealer, go and ask mechanics why they put this, why they put that. I see sometimes people, they remove a lot of stuff. Oh, this hose, that doesn't do anything, or this doesn't do anything, or I change this filter later, or coolant flush, it just, they want to rip me off. Sometimes, yes, sometimes they try to charge you and overcharge you and upsell something, but not all the time. There is another important tip about your battery. Never try to jump start another car if your car is weaker than the receiver car. For example, your car is running, your car is good, healthy, your car, it's going to be a donor. The other car is a receiver. If your battery is smaller and weaker than the receiver car, don't try to jump start it with your car, because it put a lot of pressure on your battery, because that battery need to start two cars in the same time, and that battery, it's going to explode internally. Don't do that. Even if it's a better or stronger battery to give a jump start for another car. People, they need to understand this. We are living in 2024. They need to buy a jump box, not jumper cable. And especially people, they don't understand, they buy a jumper, narrow, tiny, like an 8 gauge or 20 gauge jumper cable, and they are wondering why my car is not starting. They cannot jump start the car. That's why. Don't use your car for jump start another car. It will mess up your battery. All right, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.